Malawi Today.
Zimene wayankhula Moses Kunkuyu mnyumba ya malamulo lero zinali za nzeru koma pang'onong'ono anakatha mwina Azagendedwa ndi Botolo. Kodi anayankhula zichani Kunkuyu zimene zinakhala ngati zonyoza aphungu akumbali ya boma? Takhalani pomwepo mumve zimene anayankhula Kunkuyu ndipo kumapetoko tibwera tilongosole chenicheni chimene chinachitika.
Motion is carried. Whip, I see you.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Good morning. First Deputy Speaker, I appreciate the guidance given by the Honorable Leader of the House that instead of going by the order paper that was circulated, we go to bills. But looking at the current attendance in the House and the justice that has to be given to bills for them to be really deliberated upon in a manner that fully represents the wishes of the people, I would like to suggest through you to the leadership of the House that the current presence of membership in the House would not do justice to bills. If it may please you, call a roll call while we wait for members to come, but we cannot tackle bills with a House that is less than half full. Secondly, Speaker, is to wish you well. Good to see you seated there. But the same wish I extend to the second Deputy Speaker, who we haven't seen in the House for quite some time. Would like, if it pleases your chair, the Secretariat to give your chair information that you can share with this House on the whereabouts of the second Deputy Speaker. If at all there is any problem that is choking her presence in this House, may we be informed as a House. First Deputy Speaker, I am making this submission knowing pretty well that my office as a whip is privy to information. And that information, as far as she is the Deputy Speaker of this House, that information must be shared with the House. First Deputy Speaker, thank you very much. I submit.
Whip, thank you very much. On the bills, I will still seek indulgence of the leader for you've proposed a roll call. I will still, this being a government day, I will seek the indulgence of the leader if for him to make some comments. The issue of attendance, honorable colleagues, is a worrying issue to the chair from both sides of the aisle, not just one aisle, both sides of the aisle, the government benches, the opposition benches, and indeed the independent opposition benches are right at the back. Our attendance, the numbers are slowly. Last week, we did understand because we had so many calamities. We had unforeseen situations in our constituencies, but we can do better. As leaders, we can do better. And the Right Honorable Speaker yesterday emphasized on the same when he commented on the issue of the Honourable Minister of Health. He encouraged all of us to be exemplary as leaders. On the second part of your submission, I will reserve my ruling for now until I get guidance from the Office of the Speaker on the issues that you seem to be knowing that surrounds the position of the second Deputy Speaker's absence in the House. If you seem to be knowing something that even my secretariat are not aware, so I will be seeking indulgence of the Speaker. If what you know can be shared with us, so we can share to the House. You seem to be knowing something because I'm missing her too. Do you know where she is?
First Deputy Speaker, no. All we know is that she hasn't been in the House for quite some time. So she is our second Deputy Speaker, and we care about it, just like we care about you. We are happy to see you there. We are happy we saw the Speaker yesterday, but we are not very happy that we haven't seen the Honorable Second Deputy Speaker for quite some time. Hence, that submission. But otherwise, if she is well, if she is okay, we are very fine. If she's taking a breather, we are very good. No, I would want a cup of tea. No, thank you.
Thank you. That point is taken. Thank you very much. Just not to alarm honorable colleagues in the House, the second Deputy Speaker is in good health. And if there is need for something to be communicated, we will do that later on. Thank you very much. Leader?
First Deputy Speaker, we would like to proceed with business as earlier on guided. I have lamented in this House countless times on the need for members to get to the chamber by 9:30, which is the time that we are supposed to start our business. And therefore, if someone is late, maybe they've got their reasons that I may not do that I'm not privy to. So we will have to proceed with business. Today is the last day of the financial year, and these bills that support the budget must be passed today, and that's how we're going to proceed. I submit.
Thank you very much, Leader. We'll take that. Honorable Mwanza Central.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Just also to inform you that UTM has over 50% of his membership in the House. It is important to indicate this when you are appealing to the members in this House to be in the House on time. So I just wanted to inform you that 50%, over 50% of UTM membership is in the House. Thank you.
Honourable Member for Mwanza Central, we hear you. I don't know what denominator have you used to get to that 50+ % available this morning, but knowing what you are able to do and knowing you from those times at church, I wouldn't doubt what you are announcing. The chair, I would like to note what you've said. So it is noted. Can I ask the leader of backbencher on the opposition please to rise? And the leader of backbenchers in the government, the leader or your vice? I would like to appeal to you, leadership of backbenchers. You cannot just leave the issues of attendance to your whips. The whips are the most busiest offices at Parliament. While they whip us all, they also do a lot of other works in their offices. Can we therefore ask the leadership of backbenchers to take your opportune time? That's why the Speaker actually promoted you to park your vehicles very next to where the Speaker parks their vehicle, so that you can handle these businesses so well. So I hope this is noted, leader of backbenchers.
First Deputy Speaker, that is noted. Thank you.
Thank you. Leader of backbenchers in the government, please rise. Leader of backbenchers. Leader of backbenchers, where your whips, your chief whip, and her deputy are doing a very good job. It is your duty to make sure you know where your lieutenants are. It doesn't look good to come to Parliament and stay at home. I have notable faces on your side that have always been examples of members that have always come to Parliament on time, and I would like to applaud. Not that they don't have anything to do, but because they want to be patriotic leaders. As leaders, we can forego what is happening out there for us to serve Malawians. So, leader of backbencher government, please, I hope this is noted.
Well aligned, First Deputy Speaker, and my apologies for coming in late now, but I came at 8:30 in the morning with Public Accounts Committee. We are in room 251, where we are going through a report for the inquiry of Amaryllis, and the 23 members are in there, Right Honorable Speaker, First Deputy Speaker, sir. So we'll do better. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Whip.
First Deputy Speaker, I am receiving information here from other members that feel like we are exposing them, that they are not in the House now. They say, but we are queuing for fuel. We are at the queue for fuel. Would you please? I'm reading a message that I've just received. We are at the queue for fuel, so Whip, do not expose us that we are absent, because when you start the roll call, the country may think that we are absent, but that's another catastrophe that we are in. Thank you very much.
Whip, thank you very much. That point is noted. But Whip, I believe the vehicles that we drive don't require us to refuel every day, and the distances that we cover from our homes to Parliament should not require us to refuel every day. As I am a member for Mulanje Bale, but I don't drive from Mulanje Bale every day. I am a resident of Lilongwe while Parliament is sitting. So, Whip, your point of order and seeking for clarification is not sustained. Those members can do better. Fuel should not be an excuse from their side of the matter. Thank you. Leader?
Speaker, we are in this House to transact serious business. I think what we're doing here, we're just wasting time. Let's get to serious business.
Thank you very much, Leader. Honour members, we will move as guided by the Leader.
Government business, bills. First reading, Bill number 2 of 2026, Supplementary Appropriation 2025-2026.
Honour Minister, second reading when? Honour Minister of Finance, second reading when?
Today and now.
Thank you. Honour members, order in the House. Order. If no one wishes to speak, I now put the question that the second reading of Bill number 2 of 2026, Supplementary Appropriation, be taken today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no.
Point of order.
The ayes have it and the motion is carried. What was that point of order for, sir?
I would like to make a comment on this, on the issue of the amendment of the bill here.
Second reading, Bill number 2 of 2026, Supplementary Appropriation 2025-2026.
Honourable members, as the House flows, let's follow the procedure. If you follow your own rules, our own rules of the House, At the moment I am second reading, I will now call the Honourable Minister of Finance to present the bill. When the bill is presented, this bill, the House is allowed to participate in the debate. So spokespersons, we will comment from political parties. So at that time is when I can recognize someone to comment. So that's the guidance I'm giving. Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, as I've said, I beg to move that Bill number 2 of 2026 now be read for the second time. Mr. Speaker, sir, the bill before the House seeks to supplement the Appropriation Act 2025 in order to increase the amount appropriated under the Appropriation Act 2025 during the financial year ending 31 March, that's today, 2026, from 8 trillion 76 billion 667 million 784,858 kwacha to an amount not exceeding 8 trillion 425 billion 358 million 219,356 kwacha. The revised expenditure for the financial year 2025-2026 is therefore being increased by 348 billion 690 million 434,499 kwacha. May I therefore, Mr. First Speaker, invite the House to support the bill. Thank you, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, I would like to the attention of the House to Standing Order 147. It talks about motions. If you see our order paper today, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bills. The first one, which is supplementary appropriation, does not go through the committee stage, but the rest of the bills do. If you read Standing Order 146, 1, 2, they guide us that way. So I did guide the House that I will recognize spokespersons, but not on the supplementary appropriation, but on the other remaining bills, taxations, and others. So that's the guidance I wanted to give. Honourable members, with that guidance, I put the question that Bill number 2 of 2026, supplementary appropriation, be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honourable Minister, third reading when?
Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Honourable members, I therefore put a question that the second reading of Bill number 2, 2026 be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Third reading, Bill number 2 of 2026, Supplementary Appropriation 2025-2026.
Minister.
Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the supplementary appropriation Bill number 2 of 2026 be read for a third time and passed. I beg to move.
Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is for Bill number 2 of 2026, supplemental appropriation, be read a third time and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and the bill has passed.
Bills, first reading, Bill number 3 of 2026, taxation amendment.
Honour Minister, second reading when?
Today and now, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker.
Honour Minister, I see this bill has not satisfied the 28-day notice. Can I request for a waiver from you?
Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, I would like to waive that the standing orders be waived to allow me to present this bill because this bill it does operationalize the budget that I presented in this House, and as you are aware, today is last day of the year. I need to present it, otherwise your budget, the one that was passed here, will not be operational starting from tomorrow. So I beg to move, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker.
Honour members? Yes, Whip.
Thank you very much, Speaker, for the guidance that you provided. The Honourable Minister has begged the House to move that we waive the provision for a 28-day notice, but he has not informed us in his motion if the bill has satisfied the 7-day notice, which I thought he should have done.
Thank you. Whip, we hear you, but the guidance, let me guide the House, especially on this question coming from you, that the reasons given on the 28-day waiver satisfies the 7-day notice, because even if it was to write this, Right Honourable Speaker's office for the 7-day waiver, because the budget is already processed and we've already gone to the very end, last day of the year, that notice wouldn't carry any significant problems. As it stands now, the explanation given by the Honourable Minister satisfies the demand for this House for a waiver of the 28-day notice. Thank you. Honourable members, I therefore put the question that the 28 notice be waived to allow the Honourable Minister to present the bill now. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. I therefore put another question that if no one wishes to speak, and I'll put another question that the second reading of bill number 3, what has gone out of order?
Speaker, is it in order that we can pass this bill which is charging Malawians?
Which bill?
The one that you want to table now.
For records, can you refer the bill, please? Refer the bill.
We have got 1 trillion that is meant for CDF. But that 1 trillion money does not have any paper which will demonstrate on how it will be utilized on the ground. This bill that we are passing. So, Chairperson, Speaker, Deputy Speaker, I want you to guide that we can be passing.
We'll guide you as such.
Yes. Let me finish.
Deputy Leader, good morning. Deputy Leader, good morning. Deputy Leader, good morning. It's a pleasure seeing you in the House, Deputy Leader. It's a pleasure. Honour member from Zimba South, let me guide you this way. This particular bill will be opened for comments from both sides of the House, from all of us. If that includes your comments during the debate, please do so. No one is gagging you to do what you want to do. Thank you. Honour members, I now put the question, the second reading of Bill number 3, 2026, taxation amendment, be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honour Minister, for second reading speech. Sorry, Honour Minister. Thank you.
Second reading, Bill number 3 of 2026, taxation amendment.
Honour Minister of Finance, for the second reading speech.
Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the taxation amendment Bill number 3 of 2026 be now read a second time. Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, the bill before this House seeks to amend the Taxation Act to strengthen revenue mobilization, close gaps in the tax system, promote fairness, and align our tax laws with evolving economic activities and the administrative needs of the country. Honourable members, we will note that these measures that I'm presenting today, they intend to operationalize what I already announced during my mid-year budget statement. Mr. Speaker, sir, first, to simplify and enhance the administration of rental income tax, this bill provides for a final withholding tax. The tax will be applied at a rate of 15% on gross rental income, as opposed to the 30% that was levied on net rental income, and this which is calculated after deducting allowable expenses. Mr. Speaker, sir, the bill further seeks to clarify that levies on mobile money and bank transfers are not allowable expenses for tax purposes. Further, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, to support the agriculture sector, the bill provides for construction expenses on structures like dams and dikes that are used for irrigation to be an allowable deduction for income tax purposes. This measure is aimed at encouraging investment in irrigation, which is very critical for improving agricultural productivity, enhancing food security, and building resilience against climate change and erratic rainfall patterns. Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, the bill also seeks to change the mineral royalty payment period from quarterly to monthly. This amendment will improve government's cash flow. Mr. Speaker, sir, you may also recall that this August House passed a motor vehicle insurance levy at 2% to support the Ministry of Health in addressing cases of road accidents. However, there was an administrative challenge on the implementation of this levy. This bill, therefore, assigns that responsibility of collecting the levy to Malawi Revenue Authority. The Malawi Revenue Authority will also be collecting the 1% insurance levy currently being collected by the Director of Road Traffic and Safety Services. This implies, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, that the total motor vehicle insurance levy that will now be collected through MRA will be 3%. Secondly, Mr. Deputy Speaker, the bill also further provides for an exemption from levy on bank transfers involving government funds to and from Reserve Bank of Malawi. This is a necessary administrative measure to avoid the secular taxation within government operations. Mr. Speaker, sir, the bill also extends the period for assessments arising from transfer pricing audits from 6 months or 6 years to 9 years. This amendment ensures that the tax authority has adequate time to conduct thorough audits and protect Malawi's tax base from profit shifting and other tax avoidance practices. As you are aware, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, transfer pricing cases are inherently complex and often involve cross-border transactions that require extensive time to investigate. Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, the bill further seeks to clarify on the applicable threshold subject to the 40% rate of corporate tax for corporate making profits above 5 billion. This amendment removes any ambiguity in the applicable tax rate for the qualifying enterprises. Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, in my 2025-2026 media budget statement, I made some changes to the taxation of the gaming industry. However, the industry has raised a concern that it is difficult to tax winnings, especially in casinos. After extensive consultation with the industry, it has been agreed that the tax should be applied on payouts from casino gaming activities and not on winnings. Mr. Speaker, sir, lastly, you may also recall that in the 2025-2026 media statement, I also introduced capital gains tax on sales of listed shares held for more than 1 year. The industry also raised concerns on the administration of this tax, and after thorough consultation, it was agreed that a final withholding tax of 2% should apply on sale of listed shares held for more than 1 year. Mr. Speaker, sir, these reforms are very critical to ensuring that our tax system remains robust, equitable, and capable of supporting Malawi's development priorities. I therefore urge the honourable members to support this bill. So, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you. Honourable members, I now call upon spokespersons. Yeah, point of order. What's gone out of order?
Greetings from the great people of Riongari.
Honourable member, use that microphone. Raise it up. It's already on. Raise it up.
Thank you for granting the great people of the Riongari constituency. I was on the view to look it critically, referring to the section 45 of the Taxation Act. It states that no deduction shall in any case be made in respect of any following matters: any expenditure where the invoices of the transaction are not generated from the electronic tax invoicing system, except where transactions have been exempted in accordance. So there is a...
Honourable member, what has gone out of order?
What is out of order is that we need to consider as Parliament what is generated through what the Honourable Minister...
Let me advise you, Honourable member. I will recognize you for debate and put that substance in your debate for the minister. I will recognize you for debate after the spokespersons, so you can put your content forward for the minister to respond. Because the point of order you are addressing, any point of order comes to the chair, and I wouldn't have that technical information on what you're referring to. So I will recognize you for debate. Spokespersons, MCP.
Thank you, Chair. listening to what the Honorable Minister of Finance has just presented here in this House, we do not have a problem with that. Only concern on the rentals of the 15%, that would definitely make the rentals high for Malawians. You know, Malawians are already facing hardships, high fuel, reduced salaries. I don't think they will be able to pay out these things. Anyway, we still think the minister would reduce from 15% to either 5% so that Malawians are able to live in decent houses without much financial challenges from the renters. Thank you.
Thank you. Spokesperson, UTM.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Looking at our current financial constraint, looking at the debt that we have as a country, us as UTM, being those that are also advocating for reduction of our deficit, we support this idea of modernizing tax administration. The only thing that probably we would ask the Minister of Finance to consider is making sure that Malawians are informed, businesses are well informed about these changes, because if businesses are not fully conversant with the new procedures, we may have a problem with the administration itself. We support efficiency in tax administration. We support economic growth, and we also support protection of taxpayers. So when these changes are being implemented, we only urge MRA to be fair to taxpayers, to inform them about the changes, to avoid penalizing taxpayers who may be doing things ignorantly. Otherwise, we support the amendments, and we will always be in support of any changes that will help this country move out of the debt and the mess we are in. Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Honour members, I was being tempted to call upon UDF and PP, but now the bill is open for debate. Lilongwe, before I come to you, Honourable Member, let me recognize Honourable Member for Lilongwe Likuni constituency. Honourable Member, when you start to speak, you have to stay in the House. So those that sit next to him, please advise him to come back so that he doesn't think he's been gagged by this House. Honourable Member from Kota Central, then we'll go to Zimba South. Then we'll come to you.
Thank you so much, Honourable First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the intelligent people of Kota Central constituency. Honourable Chair, the need to collect taxes from wherever it is possible to collect cannot be overemphasized, because this country is in desperate need for financing in almost every aspect of life. And over time, we have also built a citizenry that has come to believe that government must provide for everything. So as government, there is also need to make that citizenry pay for the services. In that regard, I we, the people of Nkhotakota Central Constituency, stand in support of the bill, but would like to bring one or two things to the attention of the Minister of Finance. Firstly, I have noted, subject to a confirmation or correction, that the new tax law, if I may call it, or proposed law, seeks to leverage electronic transactions to maximize revenue collection, which is a good move. But as we do that, I have also noted something that is not consonant with that direction, which is that mobile money transfers, particularly those provided by mobile phone operators, are limited to 1 million only per day, which in my view tends to limit government's capacity or opportunity to collect tax from mobile transactions. Is it possible, Honorable Minister, that we can extend there is a meeting there, so I wanted to give.
You are addressing my office?
Much obliged. Is it possible, through you, Chair, that we can extend the daily limit for mobile transfers from 1 million to any considerable significant amount, so that by doing that, we also increase the government's chances of collecting more per day from mobile transfers? Because a simple observation or research would reveal that mobile money transfers through Airtel Money and Mpamba are the most efficient and are becoming more popular by the day, including in the rural areas, such that even a person who would ordinarily have the opportunity to run away from tax would be captured in those transactions, and almost everyone would be able to pay tax. Secondly, there are also some peri-urban places, Honorable First Deputy Speaker, like, for example, Lizulu in Ncheu, Sangano in Ncheu, just to give you examples, or Jenda in Nzimba, where there are very numerous quick daily transactions, such that if you were to sample one of them, you'd see that the amount of money that is exchanged between vendors and buyers per day perhaps goes to $1 billion plus in those places. But most of them are able to escape tax because they do physical payments, quick physical payments, without using any bank or any mobile transactions. Is there a way we can enforce mobile transactions or mobile payment in those places, Honorable Minister, through you, Chair, so that we maximize our potential to collect taxes in those places? If you go to Sangano, for example, you'd have maybe a lot of people coming from Mozambique trading there and making profit, but they don't pay tax. They go back because they just transact physically by hand and in very quick transactions. But the amount of money that goes into those places per day is so huge, such that if government was to enforce payment of tax in those markets, we are going to harvest a significant amount of revenue each month from such places. I would therefore like to hear from the Minister of Finance if there is any way we can enforce mobile payment in those places so that we also target them for revenue collection. With those 2 points, I would like to thank you again, Chair, for recognizing the people of Nkhotakota Central Constituency. Thank you so much.
Maybe point of clarification.
Being tempted to think.
No, I just want to clarify.
Okay. Honour Member Nkhotakota Central, your microphone. Honour Minister, you have the floor.
I think there is a bit of misunderstanding here. I've said what I'm presenting here was already endorsed by this August House at the mid-year. But I'm making specific amendments to what you already passed. And I also want to say this, actually, If you don't allow, for example, the rentals of this house, if you remember, I don't know whether you recall, maybe that's very important that people recall what is passed in this house. The issue of rentals is something that was already passed by this house, by the past government. Actually, as you speak today, it's 30%. That's why MRI now is on the ground. Now, considering what we discussed in this house, that's why I'm reducing it from 30% to 15%. So the amendment here is only to reduce it from 30 to 15, because this house makes sure that we should do that. So I'm not changing what you already passed. I'm making an amendment. Similarly, on the levies on mobile money, you already passed it, but there was a question. Because some taxpayers were deducting the transfers as an allowable expense. So I'm trying to clarify that. That's the amendment that I'm presenting here. I'm not presenting the bill, and I'm presenting an amendment to what you already passed. I wanted to clarify that, because it looks like you think we're discussing the bill. I'm discussing an amendment for what you already approved.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I think you can read the amendment, because maybe you need to know exactly what am I presenting in this house. Please.
Thank you. Honorable Mzimba South.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for giving the people of Mzimba South. To add a comment on the taxation amendment bill 2026. Before I support this amendment, I've had 2 to 3 issues that I wanted through you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, to take it up with the Minister of Finance to clarify, which I believe are not good for Malawians. Firstly, on the final withholding rental income tax, Mr. Finance Minister, if you look at the 19 on the bill, 19B, 4B, it says that expenditure and losses incurred by an individual in the production of rental income shall not be allowed as a deduction under this act for any year of assessment. On this one, what you simply means is that you have a building, and within the building you want to improve your building. All the expenses that you incur on the renovation that you do in that particular building, the cement that you buy, everything that you buy in order to improve that particular house. And then you, as a tax collector, you will not exempt us from those expenditures, which I feel like is a double tax, because all the materials, all the labor that you pay there is taxed already. So I thought maybe that clause, how I wish you could have closely looked at it, because expenditure and losses that you make, you cannot pay back the tax on that one. So I feel like the Minister of Finance should consider that clause. This one should be allowable deduction, so that during the assessment you can be refunded. Secondly, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, on the levy transfer on C, provide for exemption for levy on bank transfer for government funds to the Reserve Bank. I understand when we passed this law during the budget review, the banks wrote us, like myself, I received messages that no, because they started charging around February, so they said, oh, this time when this bill was passed, we'll look at all the transfer that you have made, and then we'll charge you, and so they charge me, December, November, they charge me. Now, the question that I wanted to pose on the clause that you have highlighted, Honourable Minister of Finance, you have said transfer made in respect of government of revenues or other monies received, raised and received for the purpose of government between government and Reserve Bank. These shall be exempted. I wanted to find out from you, the Minister of Finance, since now from November, December, January, February, and March, and we are passing this amendment now, government has been making transfers. And as an individual, I've been charged. Since we didn't have this amendment, I wanted you to come out very clear how much the government has collected in terms of these transfers, because the bank were charging me as an individual. So I understand the government also have been charged, and you make a lot of transfers daily. You make as government make a lot of transfers. So I'm interested to know how much before maybe we pass this bill. How much have you collected so that were you exempted before we had passed this bill? That's the question that I wanted to pose to you. Thirdly, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, and which is my final one, I believe the levy on motor vehicles insurance, this simply means what we are trying to mean that we are sending a message to the insurance companies to say, now we increase the insurance by 3%. That's what Malawians should get. That's what we should do. We should be clear that Malawians now, the insurance which they are paying 125, it has to be increased by 3%, which I believe is on higher side. I wish it was about 1%, so that at least we should not infringe too much to Malawians, those that have got motor vehicles. With these few remarks, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I support, once we get the clarification and then updates from the Minister of Finance, I support the bill. Thank you so much.
Lilongwe Likuni, then Sanje Central. That's the last one.
Wow, thank you very much.
But you had already recognized me. I already recognized the honour member for Mchinji South. I'll give you the floor after Sanje Central.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker. Revolutionary greetings from the great people of Lilongwe Likuni constituency. The ghetto president, aka the people's baby. No, tax issues that are too sensitive. So whenever we're passing these laws and everything, we need to be conscious, revolutionary conscious. Because sometimes when the political conscience escapes, it doesn't say goodbye. Then members, they stand and crap for everything that they don't understand. Let me refer to Section 45 of the Taxation Act. It says that no deduction shall in any case be respecting of any of the following. Any expenditure where the invoice of the transaction are not generated from electronic tax invoicing system, except where the transaction has been exempted. Passing this, we also need to refer to this whereby maybe there should be need of a deletion. We need to delete maybe. Because sometimes we may pass a budget, something that maybe we don't understand. I am a contractor, I'm working in Bodarika. I do the transaction there. It starts from the value-added tax when we are making the calculations. Anything that should be claimed should pass through the electronic invoicing system. So that if it's not claimed on the VAT return, it means that it's going to affect income tax, in the sense that the revenue and the cost of goods sold, the cost of goods sold reduces the tax that we may pay as the income tax. So if we exempt some other things not being claimed on the VAT return, shall not be allowed, is not an allowable deduction. So meaning to say, we are Malawians, now these taxes, it seems that we are milking a thin cow, because left and right were being deducted. Bank, you go anywhere, being deducted. The salaries are going down. So we need to be careful. Referring to the minister, I love you so much, very intelligent think tank, but please refer to Section 45. When you go to the office, then you come back to the parliament. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Clap hands, man.
Sanje Central.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir. On behalf of the people of Nsanje Central, I would like also to support the bill number 3 of 2026, taxation amendment. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, first of all, allow me to appreciate what the minister is doing. the Minister of Finance is working very hard to bring sanity to the sector, financial sector. The bills that he is bringing into the House are meant to make sure that our financial sector is back to a situation where government is collecting adequately to work on our projects. Today, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I was driving from wherever I'm staying to Parliament using the Kawale Road. The number of potholes that are along that road is unimaginable. And therefore, the minister has to collect enough money to make sure that these infrastructure projects are financed. And for that reason, the minister is working extremely hard so that we're able as a government to provide the services that our people would want us to provide. Having said so, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I would like to bring to the minister's attention two issues that probably in future he may work on and probably bring an amendment to our laws. One of them is that a few weeks ago, I went to town to buy some steel. When I got the invoice, I said I want to transfer from my account, and I was given an account. I assumed that that account is a business account, only to find that that account belonged to a Malawian working there, just a small boy working there. The money is being transferred to an individual's account, not to a business account. And these are huge resources. The reason why this business person opened a private account, I'm sure, is for tax evasion. And I'm sure these are things that the minister has to be informed of so that he can work on what we can do as a country to deal with those problems. I'm hoping that institutions like the Financial Intelligence Authority will help the minister deal with these issues. Otherwise, there are a lot of people doing business in this country who are evading tax. They need to pay enough tax to develop our country. The second issue, which may not be related to tax, but is also a malpractice in the financial sector, is what is happening on the repatriation of balance of earnings payment. We have a lot of foreigners that are working in this country in the industrial sector, in the households, some of them being called kitchen supervisor as an expert. Every month, the entire of their earnings is being repatriated. And these are the people that are being prioritized by the banks to transfer forex. When a member of parliament asks a bank to pay for anything, such as a vehicle that we want to use in the constituency, banks are not prioritizing you, but they are prioritizing transferring money for these workers who are not experts at all. In that way, we are losing a lot of forex in this country. This is something which we need to work on and deal with it. Otherwise, as a country, we'll try all we can to make forex available. But if some people are busy externalizing forex using what they call experts, but they're there only to tick on an invoice at a shop, and is called an expert, something which a local Malawian could do, then will not make headway. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the people of Nsanje Central fully support the initiatives being championed by the DPP-led administration under Professor Thapita Mutharika. These initiatives, we know, will help us deal with many projects that we want as a people in Nsanje Central. And for that reason, we would like to assure the minister that there is full support from the people of Nsanje Central. I thank you.
Thank you. Honourable member from Chinji South, you have the floor.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the people of Mchinji South to also debate on the bill just read out in the chamber by the Minister of Finance. Mchinji South would like to speak in general terms that taxes are an obligation, but the government should also take a bold step in sensitizing and awareness of these taxes. Very important. I've said taxes are an obligation, but when you see citizens out there, they feel taxes are a punishment because maybe they do not know how important it is for them to pay tax. But also on the same, the understanding of the taxes themselves is quite important. I'll give an example of the recent introduced taxes on the renters. It is understood as if it is an additional to the rental which was already there. Like if a tenant was paying 200,000, this time around you will pay 200,000 plus the tax, which is not the case. But it can only take the government to sensitize the people, to bring the awareness to the people so that the awareness increases and also compliance increases from the citizens. Thereby, the government will easily collect enough revenue to use, as Honorable Msanje is putting it, for the infrastructure development. So in my opinion, the government should take that bold step to sensitize the people, to train the people, to teach the people what taxes are. I therefore submit and support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Deza Kasina.
Chair, good morning.
Good morning, Deza Kasina. You have the floor.
Good morning. I'm rising to support the amendment because as people of Deza Kasina, we know this government is very broke, so they need to collect more money so that they can fund the 5 billion, the much talked 5 billion constituency development fund. And I hope after collecting enough money, the government will be able to meet some of the conditions of services, Chair, which they are mandatory. I'm aware that without trying to reflect on you, Chair, I know you don't have a proper housing infrastructure. So I hope when they collect enough money, they're going to give you a good house. So too, the second Deputy Speaker, who I know is not...
Honour Member. You know you cannot reflect on the chair. I hope you are not reflecting on this chair. Please.
Chair, I'm not reflecting on you, but I know that your office is not given the proper instructions which you are supposed to in our condition of services. And I know that during the rainy season, one of your gadgets got bent because of the rains. I was there that day, so I was touched. I was touched, and I know that even the second Deputy Speaker is not here because one time I was like, no, I've overstayed that backyard. I should go and hide somewhere else. And I met the second Deputy Speaker, where Parliament kept her. And I know close to 30 million bill was there. So I thought when we collect enough money through you, Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Finance should properly fund this institution so that our offices here are well taken care of. They are able to meet the condition of services, and they are able to fund the CDF. And I know maybe through the tax we'll be able to pay the fuel suppliers and have enough fuel, because, Federal Speaker, today you were complaining that members are not here because they're on queue trying to buy diesel. Myself today I've come on a minibus because I don't have a petrol which uses petrol.
Thank you.
I'm going to finish, Mr. Speaker, sir. I have 5 minutes. So we are supporting this bill because the government, which is broke, will be able to collect enough money to fund these important projects, and also to make sure they pay a fuel supplier for diesel so that Lilongwe can have diesel. I submit.
Thank you. I see leader.
First Deputy Speaker,
Are you responding to? Is the government broke, leader? You don't look broke. You don't look broke, leader.
No, I beg to move that debate on the bill be curtailed to allow for the minister to respond to issues as raised by members. I beg to move.
Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor from the leader. The motion is to allow curtailment of debate on Bill number 3 of 2026, taxation, for the Honourable Minister of Finance to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker. First, let me register my appreciation for the support that the August House is giving to the bill that is being presented before us. I also want to, as I did present in the midterm budget, can I get protection, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker?
Honourable members, order. You are fully protected, Honourable Minister of Finance.
I did present in this August House. That we found a situation where our public debt was 26 trillion, no, 24 trillion, against revenue of 6 trillion. So take yourself as an institution or an individual, where your income is 6 million, but your debt is 24. Do you have money? This means, I'm trying to emphasize, you are broke. And this means, this means, assuming that we stopped everything else, there's no payment of salaries, wages, no RT. If we just take all the monies that we receive from MRI to pay the debt, it will take us, you just divide 4 into 24. It will take us 6 years to pay the debt. 4 into 24, 6 years, 6 times. That's the situation that we found. That's why, Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Speaker, sir, so I want to register appreciation that honourable members do agree that we are in this situation and we have to address the issues. Let me start on the issue of bank charges. Mr. Speaker, sir, I don't know whether you saw, I think there was an apology by one of the banks that kept on charging. And there was an apology because it was a mistake on their part. I think they did. If you want, I can show you. I think it was to do with the programming because they were doing it for the first time. If you check, I think there's a bank, I don't want to mention the bank here, but you know the bank, they did apologize because of what happened, because as I've said, it's like messages were just coming as we were charging, but that was not the case. On the issue of the motor vehicle insurance, I want also to state as follows. As we speak today, there is a 2% on insurance, as we speak today, payable, but it's being paid to road traffic. You get it? No, to MRI. They're being paid to MRI as we speak today. And then this August House also approved that the 1% levy that we needed for the motor vehicle, purely to give the Ministry of Health to raise money to help our hospitals to be able to Yeah, so the increase is only 1%, but the 2% already exists. That's what I wanted. So it's not a 3% increase, as we have alluded to, Mr. Speaker, sir. On the issue raised by Longweli Kuni on the EIS, particularly Section 45 of Taxation Act regarding receipts generated through electronic invoicing system, I want to report that it is not part of the bill, and therefore it is not the matter that is being under consideration at the moment. And I also want to mention that what we have done, we have taken out the usage of EIS, or even the issue of VAT for SMEs, small and medium enterprises. The vendors in town, the people that go to Tanzania, Zambia, they're exempted. That's why we have changed the turnover to 50 million. So in other words, we have exempted the SMEs. So we are not overburdening them because actually we have removed them for EIS and therefore VAT. There's issue about, I think there were comments that was raised by Nsanje Central on the issue of companies avoiding usage of their corporate companies. Instead, they're using personal accounts. I would like to take advantage of at this moment that indeed Reserve Bank through FIA, they are monitoring this, and they have specific, actually, they have already identified companies that are using personal accounts. And these are normally considered as suspicious transactions. And I want to advise the honorable member from Nsanje Central that this matter is being addressed by the relevant authorities. The same applies to the malpractice of a repatriation of work process by banks, and as I've said, they normally prioritize them as opposed to some of the very important transactions that are supposed to be done. That also is under scrutiny by the Financial Intelligence Authority. There was a comment by Nsanje South, Nchingi South on the issue of sensitization and making sure that the people are informed. I entirely agree with that. I think MRA, they are doing that. Perhaps they need to do more, and we'll be communicating to them as soon as possible. There's Masina. Kasina. Kasina. Yeah, there's a Kasina. I think you mentioned that the fuel is affecting the budget. I hope you are aware that now we are using automatic pricing mechanism, meaning that the budget will not be affected by what happens in the fuel industry. I think that's what I can say at the moment. I think to me, I also wanted to mention that what I'm presenting here, I still repeat, are specific amendments to the bills that were already approved. Yes, we have talked in general terms. We have taken note of that, but I would want to say for us maybe to be specific to what I'm presenting in this, because the actual bill was already presented, and most of the issues are operational on the ground. Should there be need in the future to look at it, and when the situation changes, we are going to look at that. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, with these remarks, allow me that I move a motion that the second reading, I move that the second reading be done, and that the bill be read for the second time. Mr. Second Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable members, we have a question on the floor. The question is that Bill number 3 of 2026, Taxation Amendment, be read second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Committee stage. Bill number 3 of 2026, Taxation Amendment.
Honourable members, the bill is now at committee stage. I will ask the chairperson for, what committee is that? No. We are looking for the chairperson of a parliamentary committee. Any chairperson of a parliamentary committee. I see the honourable member for Neno, is that in Neno South? Chairperson for Education Committee. Is that Neno South?
No, South.
Neno South. Please come and chair the committee stage. Thank you.
Chair.
Honourable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 3 of 2026, Taxation Amendment. I wish to inform you that so far the chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments to this bill. Yes, Honourable. Mzimba South.
Through you, our new chairperson, I'd ask the Minister of Finance to consider stanza number 19 on the rental income tax on residential property. I'd requested that the expenditures and losses incurred by an individual on the production of the rental income, that has to be an allowable deduction. Through you, our new chairperson, how I wish, because it's a double tax. You pay when you are buying cement, and then later on you are not allowed to make some deduction. Through you, our new chairperson. It's a double tax. What I'm trying to say is that these are expenditures and losses that you incur in generating the income for this rent that you are going to pay to government. And you pay them in shops and the like. And then later on, MRA comes again to charge you on the rental income that you generate from the same house you incurred the expenditures, which I thought is a double tax. If you don't allow it now, but sit down and then later on think about it, and then how I wish this clause could have been amended. Through you, our brand new chairperson. Thank you.
Honourable member, you did not submit. You know the procedures pretty well, but I will still ask the Honourable Minister if you have something to say.
I think maybe, as I've said, this is a complicated subject, A withholding tax is not a final tax. Withholding tax, you only withhold. So when you are presenting now your statements to MRA at the end of the year, that will be taken as an advance tax.
Prepaid tax.
Our prepaid tax, prepaid tax. So that's why it is withholding. When you are presenting at the end of the year, those deductible, deductible, they will be included there. Yes. That's what it means, actually.
Exactly.
That's why it is called withholding tax.
Okay. If no one wishes to speak, yes. Yes, Lilongwe Likuni.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Chair, through you, Chair. I think I would like to request a meeting, me and Minister of Finance, because now it's beyond. This is a matter, okay. Honorable members, through you, Chair. Honorable members, through you, Chair. First of all, we need to understand why is it that we always have deficits, and why is it government are coming in to tax more?
Honorable member, which clause is that? Honorable member, yes, for Likuni, which clause is that? Honorable member.
Clause 3. And all the clauses, because we are debating about taxes. We are talking about taxes in this house. And tax is a general thing. We are talking about taxes here. This is national importance. This is a serious issue. We cannot be clapping hands here while we are debating about national interest. We cannot be clapping hands.
Honourable member, you have to be specific. Yes, Honourable.
Right guidance.
Clause 1, 2, 3. General.
Honourable Lilongwe Likuni, I've heard you. Please, can you take your seat? Please take your seat. Take your seat, honourable member. Yes.
Yeah. Chair, just to respond to the honourable who has just resumed this seat, the meeting, he must engage the Minister of Finance for that one-on-one kind of discussion. Tax issues are very complex issues, and surely when you meet him, you are going to appreciate all the questions that you have. But for purposes of the committee of supply stage, let's proceed, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honourable Minister. Honourable Folikuni, please make a date with Honourable Minister of Finance. I think you have to understand some other clauses that you are failing to tell us. If no one wishes to speak, I put now a question. The question is that clause 1 to 11 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye. And those of contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honourable members, this marks the end of committee stage. The bill number 3 of 2026, taxation amendment. Thank you for your attention and participation. Thank you.
Honourable Minister of Finance. Apologies, Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister.
Report stage, Bill number 3 of 2026, Taxation Amendment.
Honourable Minister to report.
Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 3 of 2026, Taxation Amendment, passed through the committee stage without any amendments. I beg to report. And I want to beg that the second reading be read today and now. Is third reading? Third reading. Thank you, Mr. Second Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. If no one wishes to speak, I now put the question that the third reading of the Bill number 3 of 2026, Taxation Amendment, be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. Table.
Third reading, Bill number 3 of 2026, Taxation Amendment.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Taxation Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026 be read for third time and passed. I beg to move.
Honourable members, if no one wishes to speak, we have a motion on the floor. The motion on the floor is Bill number 3 of 2026, Taxation Amendment, be read a third time and passed. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and the bill has been passed. It is 11:01. I therefore suspend proceedings for a health break. The House resumes sitting at 11:31 a.m. House suspended.